Hi everybody and welcome to Game in Your Pocket, this time with Cursed. And as always, when I look at these games, three things are important. The games have to be pocket-sized, affordable, and fast and easy to set up and play. And Cursed definitely lives up to these three things. A look at the back tells us the backstory about the game. You have to capture monster souls and also a playtime of only 3 to 6 minutes. So this game is pocket-sized and it's also affordable in this version or as print and play. And when it comes to fast to set up and play, this game is the Speed King. So let's take a look at what comes inside this tin box. First we have the instructions of how to play the game. You are cursed and you have to go out into a forest and capture monster souls, and then an old witch maybe will remove the curse. And then we have all the play cards, and they are identical. They have a monster orientation with monster abilities and monster power, and an illustration of the specific monster you are fighting. If you rotate the card, you will instead have the items that you can use in your game. They will benefit you, most of them, when you fight the monsters. And in a horizontal orientation, you have the weapon side of the card that tells you what kind of weapon, how much damage the weapon will do, and if it's melee or ranged. And that's pretty much it. Here, for example, we have a staff. It's a ranged weapon, a magic staff that will do 4 damage when you fight a monster. And the throwing daggers also ranged, and in this case you can choose the damage, 1 or 6. And here we have a melee weapon, a sword, that will do 4 damage. And again here we have another item, a smoke bomb, and the different items affect the fights and can benefit you in different ways. Sometimes the monsters have abilities. In this case, for example, an even value weapon first time it's drawn will not damage this monster. And some of the monsters also carry items. That is how you obtain them. If you capture this monster's soul, you will draw an item. So how do you capture a monster's soul? That is the question. So let's take a look at how you do that. Let's draw a monster here. An ethereal with a power of 8, and a special ability that first time you draw an odd value weapon, it will not do any damage. And the first weapon we draw here is a spear, and it will do 3 damage, which in this case it won't. So you won't subtract anything from the monster power. Then a short bow that will do 2 damage, and a great sword that will do 7. So now we have done 7 out of the 8 power. If I draw another weapon card and exceed the monster power, I will have to discard it and it won't count. So this is a blackjack type game where you have to get as close as possible to the monster's power. What you can do if you are close like I am here, you can discard 1 health from your pile of cards and then you can capture the monster's soul. Let's take another example. Here we have an evasive with a power of 9. The first even value weapon will not do damage, and we have the throwing dagger. So if I choose 6, it will not do damage. If I choose 1, it will. Draw another card and push my luck with a third card, and luckily I hit 9 precisely, so I won't have to pay any further cards from my health pile, and I can capture the monster's soul. The objective of the game is to capture 8 monsters' soul before your draw pile or your health runs out. And here is how you set up the game, and that is extremely fast. The only thing you do is to draw an item card to begin with, and then you play. So let's shuffle the cards and get ready for a game of Cursed. I will draw my starting item first, and it's a bewitching relic. It's a useful item. I can use the monster side of a card instead of a weapon side. So for example, if I drew the staff, I will instead use the monster's power of 8. So I will put my item up here and I will use it when I think it will benefit me the most. So the next thing you do is just to draw the first monster. And here we have the ethereal that we just saw in the example. It's immune to the first odd value weapon, so the great sword unfortunately will not do damage, the short bow will, and another great sword will take me to 7 damage. I'm going to pay 1 health and then it takes me up to 8. And I have captured my first monster's soul. I could have pushed my luck, but it would have been relatively difficult to draw a 1. Now a new monster here. It has a power of 11 and an item. The first 2 weapons take me to 8. Do I push my luck here? Yeah, I'm going to draw 1 more weapon. And it's a 3. Takes me to 11 exactly. So I will defeat the monster, capture the soul, and then I will take the discard pile here, shuffle, and then draw another item. It's a smoke bomb. Yeah, I will keep my item over here and continue my monster soul hunting. Another monster with an item and a power of 10. So 2 damage first, 4 takes me up to 6. I should be able to draw another, but in this case I'm forced to choose the 1 damage of the daggers. That will take me to 7. I still need 3 damage, and I have an axe with 2. That will take me to 9, so I'm going to pay 1 health, and that's 10, and I have captured this monster as well. Again, luckily I can draw an item, and that will take me to 3 items. All the items are good except 1. There is a mimic hiding somewhere in between the items, but this was a scroll of life. I can instantly capture a monster's soul with that. So I have 3 monsters now, and I still need 5. A new monster with an item. That's good with items, but typically these monsters are the strongest. First a fireball, that's 5, and another, and it's the daggers. I can choose the 6, and that will take me to 11 exactly. That was lucky. And I can draw another item. That's rather unusual with 4 items. And it's a shield, so I can block 3 damage if I need to. So I have used a lot of cards, and now I have an evasive. And I will play the Scroll of Purge life in this case. So I will use the item that will ignore any monster abilities and traits, and I will capture the soul immediately. Now I have 5. A new monster with a power of 9. I should use some of my items, but let's see. A staff that will do 4 damage, but the monster side will do 8. So if I use my Bewitching Relic item, I can use the monster side of the weapon card and will do 8 damage. And then I can pay the final point up to 9 from my pile, and I have 6 monster souls. And still a few cards left. Next up, a weak monster with a power of 5, but I can only use 1 weapon. So let's see if I can take out the explodes here. And I can use the 6 power side of my daggers, and that will exceed the monster power. But if you do that with only 1 card, you will still capture the monster's soul. Now I only need 1 monster, and the witch will lift my curse. Another evasive. It will ignore the first even value weapon, so I have to choose 1 here with the daggers. And then 2, that's 3, still a long way up to 9, that's 4. So I need 2 now, and I have only 1 card left. I'm not able to defeat the monster unless I use items. So in this case, I could use my shield that will absorb 3 damage, and in this case, that's enough to capture the monster's soul. I could also use my smoke bomb. In this case, I will take all the cards in the current encounter, and then I will shuffle them back and start all over. So I will play that item, take the cards, shuffle them, and I still have my shield, 5 cards left. And with my shield still available, I should be able to pull this off. I get the evasive again, and I get the daggers again. I have to choose the 1, then I get a fireball. That's 6, and the difference up to the monster power is 3. I can take 3 damage, and my shield will absorb them, and I will capture my monster soul number 8. So I have completed the game now, and that's great. I have 2 cards left still, but with an ethereal and only 1 card, I cannot capture further souls. But okay, 8 is enough. Typically, I find that Cursed is a very well-balanced game. You will always have a challenge getting the 8 monster souls. Rarely do you capture them early in the game or have several cards left, and most often you will not capture 8. There is a real challenge in Cursed, and as shown here, it's a fast game. So now that we know the rules, let's just play another round. We'll begin with the Smoke Bomb and then encounter a Tough Skin. And the Tough Skin is immune to ranged attacks, so 6 from the daggers, and then the short bow will not count, and I will get more daggers. I'll have to use the 1, and then I will push my luck here, and I will draw a 3. So that will beat the monster exactly with a power of 10. But I used a lot of cards. Another Ethereal. I'll take the 6 damage from the daggers, and you of course have to decide that before you draw your next card, and then I'll pay 2 health, and that's 8. Another monster. A Flying. Melee attack will not count, but the spear I can choose whether I will have melee or ranged, but the next one, a sword, will not count. You know what? I'm going to play my Smoke Bomb and take the cards back, shuffle, and begin all over. And I have another Tough Skin. Mace is good, but the Fireball spell is not. It's ranged, and, well, this one is good, and yes, 10 exactly. The Tough Skin's soul is captured. And here we have an item. The staff will do 4, the axe up to 6, and the greatsword, it's 11. Great, and I will also have an item. So let's see what I get this time from the discard pile. It's a Whetstone that will add 3 damage to any weapon. That's useful, of course. Another Flying, and the spear will do 3 damage. Why not use this now? That will give 6, and I will pay 1 health, and I will capture the Flying's soul. I need 3 more souls, but I don't have many cards left. I don't think I have been aggressive enough. Let's see here. 7. I will pay 2 health and capture my soul number 6, but I only have 3 cards left, so that looks impossible. And as seen here, I will run out of cards, which in this case is health, and I will not beat the game this time. That was 2 quick playthroughs of Cursed, a game that is fast to set up and play, affordable and pocket-sized in this tin box. You can also find it as print and play, and I highly recommend to check out Cursed if you like a fast and fun and challenging game. Thanks a lot for watching this Game in Your Pocket video. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I hope you'll join me for future videos.